to be a little bit more quiet on Blog Talk Radio. So I'm also simultaneously doing a Facebook Live event. Hi, everybody on Facebook. Hopefully I can see comments as they come up the way I have it set up. I'm not used to doing Facebook Live, and last week was a disaster. So hopefully this week will be just fine. If anybody on Facebook would like a reading, you need to call into the radio queue, and I have the phone number in the post for this Facebook Live event. Welcome. And welcome to everybody that is on Blog Talk Radio. Love you all. I do have one donation, and her name is Kim. I do not see her yet in the queue. And so let's just get started with the show. So basically what I do is I go over a couple of housekeeping details. I have a focus subject for all of us. I also want to alert you to the fact that I have a lot of free gifts lined up for you, which you can get very easily. I'll tell you how in a minute. And there are a couple of other things. And then we go to the phone lines. We go to Facebook, we go to phone lines. But again, if you're on Facebook and you do want a reading, you do need to call into the show. Amanda would, because I will not be able to, I can't read for you over Facebook. You have to call into the show. So there's a phone number there for those of you who are showing up. Okay. So there is a website for this show. And it is called spiritmediumtv.com. That's spiritmediumtv.com. Hi, Tisha. Tisha and I had quite a session this week. This past week. Anyway, this website for the show is spiritmediumtv.com. The first thing on that website is how you can get some free gifts, such as a free numerology report, and other free webinars, and a free soul abundance webinar, which is your supernatural secret, soul abundance. All of that you can get by joining our mailing list. And the form to join the mailing list is on the sidebar of spiritmediumtv.com. There you can also make a donation. I call that the 8 No Wait. If you donate $8, you jump the gate. It's called the 8 No Wait. If you have an urgent matter that just can't wait, donate 8 and jump the gate at spiritmediumtv.com. We already have a donation. I see she has called in. That's Kim. Hi, Kim. Hi, Kate. Hi, Sha-Marie. And hi, Alyssa. They're all in the Blog Talk Radio queue. And also, hi, Ida and Judith. And I've already said hello to the other people. Ida, if you want a reading, you need to call the number that's in the post from Facebook. That number is 347-945-5849. I will not be able to read for you. I've tried. It's a little messy. Let's put it this way on Facebook. Okay. And so the other thing to know that's on spiritmediumtv.com is what I call the free for me. Okay. And that's free for you, actually, free for thee. If you use free for me when you're booking your private session at booklaura.com, you will obtain a third more time free than that for which you paid. So if you paid for 30 minutes, you would get 40 minutes. That's the free for me. Okay? So that's explained on spiritmediumtv.com as well. And you can make your donation there. There's really everything else I'm just going to talk about now. So the focus subject for this evening is a recent mediumship session I had with a lovely woman and her mother. And I was a little frightened to do the session because as she was trying to book it, I found out that they had a deceased pet who passed the day before. And usually when you have mediumship, you do want to wait until the grieving process is over. But anyway, I said we could try because they really want to have the session. And I didn't really know why, but I figured I'd help them out if I could, or Spirit could. But lo and behold, even before I got to work with them, I started seeing clairvoyantly a black and white cat floating all around my head. I'm like, what's this all about? But so then when I connected with him, the cat changed his color a little bit and they didn't understand and there was a little bit confusion. But finally, when I realized what was going on, I says, is your cat black and white? And they said, yes. And so this cat was like, I never had this kind of connection before with an animal. I have to assume that there was a guide working with the animal so that we could get more of a real dialogue going, because the cat was channeling to me, or it seemed like the cat was channeling to me like a human would. And the cat was telling me what happened, because they wanted to know what happened. And I didn't know what they meant still. So all of a sudden, the cat starts transmitting to me a movie and giving me words to go with it. And the movie is that he's being put into a traveling bag. Then he goes into an office. It's a vet's office. And a few things happen, and he's nauseous. The cat is nauseous. And the cat tells me they gave him Dramamine. Now, I don't know if they literally gave him Dramamine, but Dramamine's for nausea. So I knew it was for nausea. And I said to the sitters, was it for nausea? And they said, did the cat have nausea? Was the cat throwing up? And they said, yes. And so basically the cat said, through me, to the sitters, those are his earth parents, that he passed away because of side effects from the drug. And so that was what happened. And it was so clear. I just thought it was worth mentioning to you, all of you viewers, to know how spirit works, and that if you've lost a pet or a human, that the communication is very lucid, very clear, to help us have belief that life continues. At the bottom of that article, it's called, let's see, Pet Psychic for Deceased Pets. At the bottom of that article is an offer. If you have trouble getting over the loss of a pet, it's a grieving product that I found that might be of interest to you. So that is, and let me see if I can find the name of the product before I continue. Oh yeah, Recover from the Grief of Pet Loss. So it's interesting. You might want to just take a look at it, see what it does for you. And remember to join our mailing list, and you will immediately be emailed links to many free gifts, such as numerology report, free numerology report, a free soul abundance webinar, and a few other things. It's something about how to manifest using frequency or a sound. That's another free webinar there. So now I'm going to do our little meditation, prayer, and energy connection, and then I will come back to the phone lines. I want to just do a quick look over at Facebook and see what's happening. Hi, Judith. I think I said hello to Judith already. Oh, there's a lot more. Louisa. Hi, Louisa. Miss you, Louisa. Oh my God, it's the Louisa I know. Wow. Laura is the best, super nice. Thank you, Tisha. Yeah, Tisha and I, we went back and forth quite a bit on Facebook. It was like, yeah, Tisha, you did test my patience. Hi, Heather. I'm just going to say hello to those people that are waiting there. Hi, Ida. Hi, Bobby Ray. Robbie, you need to call that phone number, sweetie. Again, it's, if you need a reading, it's area code 347-945-5849. Sue, same thing. Oh, okay. You're curious about them? Well, just pay attention. You don't need to call the number. Christine, yes, do the same. Vera, the same. And Bobby. Hey, Bobby. Yeah, Bobby, I do too. Bobby McDonald is saying, I've always believed animals have souls, just like us. Yeah, see, the thing I like about Facebook Live is I get to interact a little more than on Blog Talk, because everybody on Blog Talk love you all, but I don't get to interact with you as much, which is a little bit of a trial and a tribulation. Okay, so now I'm going to go over the phone lines, and I take first in, first out, and Jean-Marie is the first caller. Oh, first I have to do a little prayer. Sorry, one time I forgot to do the prayer, and I did the whole show without doing the energy connection prayer, and it really makes a difference in the quality. If any of you are studying to do psychic work or become a medium, having technique is so important. That means the steps, so that you can have consistency. Okay, so everybody that's participating tonight, please sit back in your respective locations, uncross your arms and legs, and start to breathe. Breathing from your abdomen, breathing in deeply. And on the exhale, letting go of all tension, releasing and letting go. Breathing in when you're ready again from your abdomen deeply. And on the exhale, beginning to focus in on your questions. If you want a question, if you have a question, or if you want an other side connection, please focus in on your loved one or loved ones, asking them to come in tonight, being open to who does come through, as we don't have that much control over it, and sometimes one soul is more experienced at communicating and can bring in the other souls. So being open. While you do that, I'm going to go off and invoke the master prayer. I'll be back in a second. And now, on your next exhale of breath, please release into your space your energy, and I will connect this. One moment, please. Okay, good. Okay, so I'm going to go to the first person who they called in was Jean-Marie. Am I saying your name correctly? Hi, am I saying?
Yes.
Okay.
Perfect, Jean-Marie. Yes.
All right, beautiful. Okay, sweetie, so go ahead and ask your question, love, and we'll see what Spirit has up its sleeve for you.
I don't know what does Spirit have for me in terms of concerning my marriage. There's been a real disconnect, and I'm just tired.
Oh, don't tell me too much, love. So just give me the initials of the party in question.
Or my husband.
The other person, please. O as in open, S as in Sam. Is that correct, honey? All right. Hold on for a second, love. This helps me a little bit with more vibrational match. Okay, so the first thing I did is I went to Spirit to see if he's good for you. I don't know more than that right now. I always start with a really big question, and the answer is no. And I'm going to find out what can be done, if anything, or what that means. So just bear with me. He's open-minded about things in his life. He's a very open-minded person, but he's not as open-minded as you need him to be to get the things done in your life that you need. So from that statement, I would say that and they're also saying to me, it's a wise decision that you're making on your part to open new doors for yourself and to start new things. So what I'm seeing is a disconnect is where you're going and where he's going are different directions. He's going off in one direction, you're going off another direction. Spirit is encouraging you to do what you're doing, because you really do need to make changes in your life for yourself. Because if you don't, it's very claustrophobic for you, or you need to get that. You need to move forward. It's like giving yourself life or air to breathe. So I'm seeing that you're moving in a direction that he can't understand or doesn't agree with. Is that what's going on, please?
Moving more spiritually, connected. He just doesn't.
Yeah, and you need this. And so that's correct what you're doing. You do need this for yourself. But so let me just see if there's anything that can be done with this person, what the outcome would be. He needs to get going on his own fulfillment at this point, and not bothering you so much about your fulfillment. He's preoccupied with himself, but not in a way that's healthy. It's like as if okay, I get it. Like as if he needs your attention to feel fulfilled, if you will. And if you're not shining a bright spotlight on him 24/7, he's feeling less than. That would be very much called a narcissist. You understand? Okay. Yeah. So
That's why I'm so tired.
Yeah. He's a person that no matter what you do, you really cannot fulfill him. And every person, this is true for. No, none of us can fulfill other people. We have to fulfill ourselves. And particularly when we're in an intimate relationship, unless we want to die sooner. because without that lifeblood of our personal journey, our personal expression, when there's a safe place of the relationship, people, they can cut off their growth, like you can cut off your growth, but that's like cutting off your air. So it's a very difficult situation to be in, but the problem is that if he is a person that needs this sort of love and attention 24/7, the spotlight on him, yeah, that you can't grow. So the only thing that you can do really is tell him to take care of his needs and himself and grow, find something exciting that he likes. Maybe you could share it together, maybe not. Doesn't mean that you have to break up. Now, I'm not saying that, I'm just giving you, that's the thing to say to him. Now, the outcome is a little different. I try not to, as a psychic and the medium, say it's not going to work out, okay? Because there's always possibility. And you're a creative person. We're all creative people, and nothing stays the same, right? We're in this wild soup of life. It's like the ocean, right? It's ebb and flow and up and down. But let's see what's going to happen. I need to look at him for a moment. Okay, so I want to say that I get a positive on this, that he would be open to change in his own life and doing something that he likes to do if you assure him that he's not losing you, he's gaining a new hobby or a new passion, if you will. And that will give you freedom to do what you need, and that will give him freedom to empower himself by addressing something that he loves to do. And more information on this is in my Soul Abundance webinar, which you can get for free at spiritmediumtv.com. You just join the mailing list there, and it's going to be one of the first things you'll get in the respond email. There'll be an email there. And it talks all about this, that when we don't nurture ourselves, when we don't become the authentic person we are, we end up having a lot of conflicts in life. We're unhappy. We need somebody else to fulfill us. But as you know, Jean-Marie, nobody can fulfill you but you, right? Or God. So this is our connection to God, to Source. It's how we move from being codependent to being interdependent in a relationship. It's the healthiest possible way to be in a relationship. So have him, have yourself get it, see what you think of it. Maybe it's something that he can look at, I don't know, but certainly tell him he needs to blossom is a nice way to say it.
I've been trying.
Maybe you need to put out a little bait. Maybe you need to put out a little bait. I'm going to see one other thing, and then I'll run to another phone call because I have to get going. But I just want to see if there's something there that will be a trigger for him, that will be motivating to him. Yeah. Is he carrying extra weight on his body?
No, but he's fairly fit. Yeah.
He's fairly fit? Okay. He looks a little chunky, that's all.
He's a little, I would say.
I see. Okay, I see that he likes cars, or something like cars or high-ticket items. He likes speed, likes excitement. If there's anything that he likes, to inspire him to do something with it. And that would be the best way. You got to put honey in with this, you got to put a little honey in.
Encourage him to go back to get his master's, if you've been talking about a career that he likes. And I encourage him, and he just started it.
Oh, well, that's good, but maybe it's not that fun. Yeah.
I don't know anymore. And it's always, I'm just feeding him, and I'm not getting, I'm just tired.
Well, the only one that can do the feeding to you is you.
I feel like it's taken away from.
No, it's
always his show. I'm just tired.
Well, okay. There's a good movie I just looked at, The Wife. It's, was in the Academy Awards and everything. And it's a very good movie to look at for us women who have been married or are married. And quite often we get sucked into this idea that we're supposed to be there to somehow mirror the man. And you're not. And don't feel guilty about it is my answer. But these are value systems. You know, if you want to live a life of unrequited self, then stay and put the spotlight on him. Otherwise, follow your heart, follow your dream, follow what's right for you, and encourage him to do the same in an unthreatening way. That's all I can say to you today. Okay? All right, love. Thank you, love. Bye-bye. Yeah, it's interesting that Jean-Marie came up with that question because I just saw the movie the other night. Interesting movie. Gave me a lot of insight about myself. Maybe you all might want to watch it. Okay, and so I am going to go to 561-213, and that would be Kim. Hey, Kim, how are you? I forgot all about that.
Hi, Laura. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you just fine, love. Thank you for the donation. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, go ahead and give me your question, darling. And don't tell me too much, okay?
I have you on speakerphone so my husband can hear because he was too shy to call in. So, but it's on behalf of the both of us.
Okay.
So I wanted him to be able to hear.
All right.
Question I have before we begin. You're on. I didn't realize you're on Facebook. I just looked and left your message there. Is the people on Facebook, can they hear what I'm saying or only you?
Everybody can hear what you're saying, love. You're on a public broadcast.
Whenever I called in on the radio and I go to rehear it, listen, you only hear you. I never hear the people talking. When I go to listen back on YouTube or whenever you record it, I only hear you.
Okay, now listen. Okay, listen. Listen to me. Every time you've called in the past, there is a radio show component to the broadcast. I happen to put it on YouTube, and it depends on where you're listening, but you can hear the callers if they're clear. Like right now, I'm not using a headset. You're coming out of the speakers on my computer, and you're being shown on, your voice is being broadcast on Facebook Live and also on Blog Talk Radio. So if you don't want it to be
well, it's live.
So if you don't want to,
whenever I've re-listened to any of yours that I've done with you, I can never hear. I sound like wah 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 wah, like Charlie Brown, and you only hear you.
Well, that's only because.
Anyway, so there's no anonymity then. So okay, so no, don't worry. Okay, so want my question?
Yes, please, darling. And don't reveal too much, honey.
Facebook is not a very anonymous place. That's what I was just saying.
And I have made it clear from the beginning that that's what we're doing. That's why it's different than a private reading. This is a public thing. Yeah, I'm sorry, honey, if you didn't understand that.
It's not really.
Okay.
Just curious. Okay. The question I have is, I spoke to you, the last time I spoke to you, we were in the process of trying to sell my husband's business, right? And we got an offer from a couple. It's a dental office. So we got a dentist and her husband, who's a business person. We've been dealing with them for the last couple of months. And originally we were supposed to have a closing.
Okay, now one second. Kim, please listen to me. Kim, yeah, just give me the question, honey, not all the background, because you don't want to influence me.
But the question is, are these people still serious about it? Because my husband asked me, what do I think? And I said, let's go on with Laura in 10 minutes. She's starting her show, and see if Laura can pull up something. Okay,
I need the initials or some way, even if you make them up for the purpose of security or, keeping your info private, just give me two initials that represent the buyers, the potential buyers. Two.
Yes. KG.
That's fine. I'll just use the KG. I'll just use KG. Hold on. All right, honey. Okay, just let me be silent for a moment, sweetie. Just relax. Yes, they are serious. But I feel there's a little problem in getting funding, or they're looking into a way to get the funding. So that's where I feel the feet are dragging. So now that could be another matter. In other words, you could have an unqualified, okay, in sales, I've been in sales before for many years, and they call a buyer is unqualified when they don't have the money to buy something. So the question is, are they serious? It suggests that you only want to know what.
Are they really wanting to go through with this? My concern is, I know you're saying about the funding. My concern was never really whether they have the finances, but it could be true that they did not get the financing yet.
Okay, let me clarify my answer, which I was trying to do, is they are serious in that they want the business, but I feel there's a problem with the financing. So will they get it or won't they get it is the next question to ask. And I can do my best to see what I get. Can't guarantee it's 100% accurate because that's a future thing, and there could be a lot of Russian roulette around that. But I will look at that, see if they're qualified in terms of being able to get the financing. 1 second, please. And it may not come from a lender, it may come from family money. I don't know yet. Yeah, they'll be able to get the financing, but it's a little slow right now. So I believe the thing that's the glitch here is getting the financing. Okay? But I get that we'll ultimately be able to do that. Just listen to me for a second, honey. I said they ultimately will be able to get the financing. Now, does that mean that you shouldn't look for any more buyers? I mean, yeah, maybe you should still look around until you have a firm one, but I feel that that's what's holding them up.
Does your gut feeling feel like that these are going to be the people?
Well, that's another question.
We've been really wanting and counting on these particular people. The initials I gave you, KG, but these are going to be the ones that are going to take possession of the office.
Give me the initials. Give me the initials of the business. Give me the initials of the business, please.
I'll give you his SK.
S is in Sam, K is in knock. Hold on. All right, who's? Yeah, I feel that they are. I feel that they are. I feel there's a good match there. I feel that they really want the business. I feel it fits them very well. And I feel that you think that already, that is sort of a perfect match. And I'm saying that I think they feel the same way. Now, if it doesn't work out for whatever glitch pops up that I'm not picking up, because this is psychic reading, so is it 100% accurate? No, it is usually when I'm doing a reading about what's happening now, but when we have elements of what didn't happen, then we get that X factor in there. But as of now, I feel they're really right for this business, and they're really ripe, R-I-P-E, right, R-I-G-H-T, and ripe, R-I-P-E, because they really want this business. It fits them very much. So, you might want to have a little bit more patience with them, maybe look under the hood, maybe, I don't know how, if you're going through a third party, like an agent or something, probably can't do too much to them, right? Oh, okay, you are. So you can't really do anything. But I think your agent would tell you the same thing I'm saying to you, that they're dragging their feet right now, not because they don't want the business, but because they're waiting on funding. It's really out of everybody's hands at the moment. But I do feel they will get it. Okay? All right, sweetie.
Thank you, Laura.
Thank you, Kim. Sorry about the confusion of this being broadcast, but yes, it is. Okay.
I didn't want to say anybody break anyone's anonymity during the call, so that's good. We're fine.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
Thank you, love. Bye-bye. Yeah, and that's a good point. I mean, in case it wasn't clear to everyone, she did the 8 No Wait, which is an $8 donation to jump to the top of the queue. I now have many more people I can talk to today. So I have the opportunity, if it's really important, that you would do the 808. But it is broadcast live on Facebook, and it's also broadcast live on Blog Talk Radio. So if you don't want to be heard, then you need to set up a private appointment with me. You can use the free for me, which gives you a third more time free than that for which you pay, and that is private to you. Okay. So we've got that. I just need to see if there are any other donations before I continue. As Bobby Moran did make yeah, okay, Bobby, I will get to you. Yes, I know you have a big problem going on right now. And is there anybody else? I think she's the only one, so I will come to you right away. And her phone number starts with 231. Okay, coming back here. I need to find you, Bobby, on the queue, on the switchboard. 231. Is that you, Bobby? Hey, how are you, sweetie? Thank you so much for donating. The animals, it goes in part to help them. They will appreciate that. So I know a little bit about your situation. Did you want to ask it differently, or what did you want to say? And again, don't give me much more background.
Yeah, I want to know, because it's just, well, like you said, you read it or whatever, but it's just my son and me, and it's just, I'm trying to help, but he got kind of kicked out of his apartment and supposedly banned, and because he was in the same like complex.
Yes.
But he's banned from here, and supposedly he can't even see me, which I think is bull. But it's just his mental state and mine, and just, I mean, he'll be 25, but I'm still worried about him.
Yeah, what's his initials, please? Okay, so do you want me? Yeah, okay. Do you want me to look at him and see where he's at emotionally? Is that what I do?
Yeah.
I want you to know that,
like, where his life will be going good, because neither of us have had good luck like in the past, but I just want him to see good.
okay. I want you to know that I heard the words, he loves you very much, while you were talking. So, that's good to know. So let me just see something. Is he all right? I'm going to start with that question, and Spirit will reveal to me. He's okay for the moment, but he does need to take better care of himself. He's really not taking care of himself. He's not eating right. He's not getting out. He seems to be very depressed at the moment. And he also has a sense of persecution complex, like nobody treats him well, or he doesn't really know what he's doing to attract this kind of stuff in his life. He's very upset and demoralized about what happened to him still. He is hanging out with some friends, but they're not pulling him out of the murk, so to speak. I just feel he feels he has a difficult life this time, or this go around, if you will. So will he be all right? We need to look at that. I think you've asked that already. Let me project this. Hold on. Well, I only can see what I see right now, which is I hear the words flat broke, not knowing what to do about it, personality. I also hear the words personality disorder, and that he doesn't have much confidence. He also does not understand the connection between work and results. In other words, he doesn't understand if he could apply himself, that he could get results. Almost like he feels like no matter what he does, he doesn't get results. I want to add on top of that, he might have a bit of a learning disorder, like a dyslexia, or something like that, where he does not learn well in a traditional way. Would you know anything about?
Teachers really never helped him about it when he was younger.
Yeah. Well, so that's not a problem per se if you keep thinking you have to be good at school to make money, okay, which we need to shift his way of thinking, right? But I want to see what he would be good at. Hold on.
Just started his first day today, but he's just really low because he don't really have, a set place to live yet. And right now he's like at my daughter's because he can't stay here, or they're afraid I'm going to get kicked out.
Oh, that's interesting. I do see a house. I see a living room, and I see friends coming over, and it's modestly decorated. I see the front door opening. I see him with his pocket sticking out, and nothing, no money's in it. But I just think that if he just has a lot of issues, okay, which are bigger issues than just now, the moment. And so what's the best thing to do with this situation is the only real answer I can give you that really makes sense or can be productive. And so that is to see him and visualize him, you can, in prayer, being productive, using his creativity, his talents, and making money and happy. And that's the best you can do. Pray.
I'm really is about mental because, like, I don't know, 4 years ago, he actually did try committing suicide.
Yes, I would understand. I could see that. But what you cannot control him, but you can pray for him. Right? Because prayer is very powerful. Right? See, one of the things, the worst thing that this is for everybody listening, it's a good thing to think about, is when we try too hard to fix things, things get worse. It's only when we go to silent meditative prayer, and hand it up to a higher power, ask for help, and then be silent, be still, that God can work through us, okay? Or whatever you call power, right? So in this particular case, we have to send JTM a lot of nurturing, a lot of love, and we have to keep asking his guides come in and help him. And that is the best that you can do,
I'm his mom, but I want to be so good, but I don't like to see him the way he is. And we've all been through a lot the last couple of years. I've lost 2 sisters, and I want him to do good because I know he's a good guy.
I know, sweetie. I know. So why don't we say a prayer now for him together, and everybody else can use this as a template for themselves. If you have problems in your life that are driving you crazy, and no matter what you do, they don't get better, the prayer could be as follows. From this point forward, my dear son, TM, knows and understands himself, is able to handle things with more patience, loves himself, knows who he is, takes action, and learns how to feed himself through expression of his talents. He exchanges talents for all the things he needs in life, all the remuneration he needs. Son, and I hand it up to you, God, to heal this situation for me. Amen. And so, yeah, amen. And don't forget that now about handing it up, and do that as much as you feel stressed. As soon as you feel stressed, do that prayer or something like that, handing it up, keep doing it. And if you do have a priest or a rabbi or somebody, one of your, if you have somebody spiritual that helps with these things, that can help, you pray that as well, because any kind of prayer will help. It has a magical component to it. It's supernatural. It's beyond us. Don't forget that.
I've been trying to be more spiritual, and every day talked about my angels and spirit guides, but yeah, I'm trying.
Well, you are doing a good job with that. Spirit says, keep up the good keep up the good work. We are working with you. So in spirit, you are being as much as you can. Hey, sweetie.
Thank you.
All right, love. I'm sorry for your suffering, darling. Bye-bye, honey. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Oh, that's a rough one. There's really no answer, right? There's no quick answer. I'm going to Kate, who has a life. 1 second, Kate. I just want to double check something. Yeah, that's fine. Going to Kate. All righty, Kate. She's at 587. Hi, Kate.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you, sweetie?
I just had a health question for you. I've been experiencing a lot of hair loss over the last about 2 years, and I'm wondering, I've seen doctors, naturopaths, everything else, done tons of testing, and I'm just wondering if you can see why it's persisting.
Okay. And remember, any and all advice actually, medical or otherwise, on this show should always be in complement to, not replace for your licensed professional support. Okay, Kate, with this. So this is for insight and not diagnosis. You're a very spiritual person. You have an open heart. You're a giver, not a taker. Everyone loves you. Hold on. Spirit loves you too. We're working with you and healing your heart and your soul. Okay. Okay, so what they're showing me is a loss or something that affected you emotionally dramatically. Would you understand that, please? Emotional. Trauma. Well, it's affecting you more than you realize. That's what they're showing. Yeah, it's affecting you more than you realize. So what Spirit's gonna now do is try to pull you forward with that. Because, you know, any kind of stress will affect all of our organs, and hair loss could definitely be a byproduct. And that's what they're showing me with you. Yeah, and you also present to me as having a little bit of extra weight in the midsection. And that would kind of go along with what the hair loss is. Would you understand that, please? Would that make sense to you?
Like I'm a fairly small person, but I've been hanging on to like an extra 10 to 15 pounds. That never happens to me.
And it's in the midsection. It's like a little extra tire there. Because the reason I'm saying that is it's all related to stress hormone. It's all stress related. So I'm going to see what we can say. Okay, so first of all, you need to find a way to relax and to figure out how to relieve what it is that's causing the stress. We'll talk about that in a moment. They said a loss. I'll get you more on that. And then you have to nurture, not only nurturing yourself symbolically, but also in terms of the supplements and or food and everything else. So we'll talk about all that. So let me just see now in terms of what the loss was. Will they show me? You said this last 2 years. You're a very giving, loving person. Everybody loves you. That's what Spirit already said. It has something to do with this. Hold on. Okay. Do you have a son, please? Okay. Well, I feel the energy of a male around you, that you have a feeling of loving towards, a mothering kind of feeling. It doesn't have to be literally your mother to this person. It could just mean that you have a feeling of love towards a male. Have you had any distress in this area of your life over the last couple of years, please?
Specifically, I mean, I've been single for a long time. And I've been through a couple of breakups that maybe I wanted to work out or just didn't.
Okay. Sometimes the male feeling could also be a pet. Do you have any kind of pet that you've lost? Anything to do with a pet?
Tragically, no.
Okay. So let me
I mean, I have lost pets, but
Yeah, but you don't have any trauma. Okay, so let me just see then what I can get psychically, because I have to get to the cause of it. This is for Kate 587. Okay. What I'm getting is a feeling like you're not really utilizing your gifts and talents, and a feeling of being sort of useless or not really employed in a way that you'd like to be. You're not engaged as a human being and using gifts and talents in a way that's appreciated outside of yourself. Would you understand that, please? Okay. So it's,
I'm not happy with.
go ahead. You're not,
I'm not like happy at work. I'm not challenged in my career for
yeah.
sure.
Well, that has more of a systemic kind of stress to you than you're realizing, and it's eating away at you. It's a very difficult stress to pinpoint because it's insidious, if you will. It's not overt. So the answer out of this is not that easy, because finding your gifts and talents and then finding a way to express them around all this would be helpful. Also, I feel that you're probably not appreciated much, which is the real issue, because you are a giving, loving person. I don't feel you're appreciated at work, as if there's people there that are either nasty to you or just not very nurturing towards you. And so this is all creating in you some kind of feeling of loss. I'll use the word loss. So what the first thing to do is what we're doing now, is to see it and understand it. The second thing is to find a way to be appreciated outside of this through some kind of community activity, service. It could be even church or worship. It needs to be something that's supportive of you as a human being, and it allows you to feel really wanted and loved. Have you ever thought of doing any kind of volunteer work, perhaps around children or anything like that?
I've thought about it, but I've never done any of it.
Okay, so I'm not going to go deeper into that with you right now, because we could certainly spend a full hour just on all of this. But I'm just giving you some ideas, okay? And as for health and nutrition and all of that, walking would be helpful. Reading is good. Reading is nice for you. A little bit more aerobic, like walking. Reading is good for you. It's nurturing for you, something that you like. Getting out with friends is good, but also doing something. I see something around children where you could either be teaching them or around them, or nurturing. It would be very helpful to you and very healing. So with these ideas, I will leave you to think about that and try it. But the walking will help also calm you down, also burn off stress, burn off the cause of this. Oh, wait a minute. Then I also hear there's a very toxic relationship at work for you. Would you understand one person in particular, or a couple?
One, yeah.
Yeah, that's the most horrible part of all of this. So if you could have a way to get away from that person, either find another job or just do what I said before, which is uh, distract yourself from that through other activities which buoy up your sense of being needed and wanted and really loved, because your makeup as a human being is one where you're a giver, not a taker, and you need to nurture and be appreciated for that. If you can get that right, you find your health will come back into balance in large part. I'm not going to talk about symptoms, and I'm not going to give you advice for that, because that's where spirit is directing me. It's the foundational situation you find yourself in is robbing you of peace, joy, and self-esteem.
Thank you.
You're welcome, love. God bless. Bye-bye. Thank you. Sorry to cut you off like that. Okay, so I'm going to see if there's anybody else. There are a lot of people here, but I'm going to try to find the one that's been waiting longest in the queue, and that would be at 618 area code. Hello, your name, please? Yes, your name, please?
Heather.
Heather. Hi, Heather. And what can Spirit do for you this evening?
My first thought was I was
more towards the mediumship to past loved ones. However, then I started thinking about other stuff. So it's really up to you, either one, whatever you feel as far as the message for me.
All right. Well, let's
Either
see.
psychic or medium.
All right. Well, let's see what Spirit says.
Okay.
Okay, that's great. Very smart, very spiritual individual. You're gifted as a healer in some way. I also hear that you're writing, or you should be communicating, writing and recording a lot of the ideas you have, Heather. And that if you don't start honoring all of this, you will be overlooked and misunderstood, which is an issue or block for you going on in your life right now. And so with understanding or getting the confirmation about what you should be doing and who you really are, Spirit is attempting right now to get you on point for who you are. Would that make sense to you, please, Heather?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so
100% on point.
it's very important you hear this right now, especially when you showed me the writing, because the gifts that you have need to be recorded in some way that can be used as a manual for healing or a way for others to heal themselves. You're a gifted healer, but you've been hesitating to put the words on paper because that would almost be like you saying, oh, I'm so smart, I'm so important, I'm so good at this. And Spirit is saying, it's what you're supposed to do. Because as soon as you start writing it all down, you're going to find it becomes very empowering for you. And that you will start attracting in more of what you're supposed to be doing. So the writing is sort of the hub of all of this, which is the thing that you've been procrastinating. Make sense?
What, I don't know, when I was younger, writing was a big thing, and I feel like I have a connection with that, but in all the different healing modalities, like as I go through them, then I don't know, I stop myself. It's like I'm not good enough. Like I can't write this stuff down because, like you said, like who am I? And just the whole I'm not good enough in my head.
Yeah, let's talk about that for a moment. And of course, this is true. This is a very good question because it's true for everybody in some way. We all have this at times, I'm not good enough, or I'm not on point for who I am, and I'm not nurturing who I am. Now, me, Laura, Spirit Medium Laura, I'm all about what I call soul abundance, which is finding your authentic self, your soul, and then expressing it on the earth plane. It's how we evolve. So that's what I'm on earth to do. So I'm hearing for you, Heather, you don't have to put your pen to paper, or you don't have to put your fingers on a keyboard. But what you could do is you could actually start vocally recording things, because I think it'd be easier for you to talk about it. And maybe you could even, sometimes people could, I don't feel this for you right now. I feel that they're telling me, though, you should just record your voice and explain techniques. Once you have a body of work like that, you can have it transcripted for you, or transcribed, I think is the word. And then you won't have to type. Yeah, it'll be easier for you. Now, another way to make it really easy is to teach and then record the teaching. So while you're teaching a class, you record the voice and then you have it transcribed. And then that transcription can become an ebook or a regular hardcover book. It can become something you sell digitally. So it's important for you to record things. It's important for you to have something in writing and have it transcribed. And if you want to do it orally, that's a very good technique for you that allow you to overcome that hump of procrastination. I hope that makes sense to you.
It makes a lot of sense. I guess after like going through several different like healing modalities and basically just researching a lot of it on my own, just for not having the funds to be able to do a whole lot of classes and stuff. I questioned myself if essentially I would like to be able to teach others that they can heal themselves that you don't have to be like you don't have to have a special gift or anything else, that anybody can do it. But then I look at it and I'm like, you know, who am I to think that I know better than this person? I don't know. It helps me.
Okay. So I suggest that you put together a little class. If you can do it locally in person, or you can do it on the internet, maybe a webinar, like we're doing a Facebook Live thing, and teach the class, and then it gets recorded. And then you'll see that you actually have more to say than you think you do. And another thing to add to that, and this is true for everyone, especially the healer types, but everybody. Well, no, it's true for the healers. Quite often, healers have incarnated at this time to rise, help of evolution. And they don't have one. A healer is healing when they heal others. So you don't have to be healed. You don't have to know everything. But when you start to do the work, more information will come through you. And you will expand and you will heal. So the healer gets healed by doing the work. You're not going to actually put your hand on somebody and have a Buddha-like shift in them. What you're doing is empowering them with spirit, like Reiki, for example. You're empowering them with spirit to heal themselves. So the healer is never the healer. That takes burden off of you and allows you to relax a little bit. Yeah. So your message tonight is do it. Just do it.
Yeah, I actually got that exact thing. And I got a Nike symbol
There you
to
go.
me, and I thought it was very, very funny. I mean, I don't care for Nike, but the whole just do it thing, I was just like, oh my God, I can't. I don't know. Then I get lost on all the different things I'm interested in. Like, how do I narrow it down on which thing I want to teach? Because I eventually want to teach them all.
I know. Let me just see something, what you should do, a specific subject to begin with. Okay, so this healing the heart from emotional loss would be one of your bailiwicks. Learning how to let go, moving forward from grief and loss, not blaming yourself for things that went wrong. That allows a spiritual shift and transformation. You're thinking about this right now a lot. You have a lot of gifts. So here we're saying, Spirit is saying to you to focus in on the application, not the modality, but what it's doing for somebody. You see what I'm saying? Okay. Modalities get integrated to that, but you can use meditations in it, you can use channeling, and you can use many different things, channeling energy, channeling words, all that. But that's just the supportive stuff. The real thing is grief, loss, letting go is one of the things you've done before. You know about this, and you're very good at this.
Thanks. I've had a lot of experience.
You have. All right, my dear, I'm going to let you go. I want to thank you so much. Thank you, love, for calling in this evening, and you have an assignment, okay?
Thank you very much for the time and energy. I really appreciate it.
Oh, and
Thank you very much.
I appreciate you. Thank you, love. Okay, the show is about to end in a few minutes, so like 1 minute actually, so 90 seconds actually, so I'm not going to start another reading. I want to thank everybody from Facebook and Blog Talk Radio that joined us this evening. I'll be back again next week at 7 p.m. Eastern Time to do the same thing, Facebook Live and also Blog Talk Radio. Thank you, everybody, and namaste. Bye.
Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.